of terrible things going on in the world. A lot of terrible things. Even in the United States, even our household and many things. We just take a moment to stop. One moment to stop. Grateful for you coming up, you present that giving up. That's what it was. Grateful for all the things. Thank you for my dislocation. Realize we couldn't have a conversation without you. All of us, I pray for this year. Each year individual the things you feel. Many scholars here will understand. I pray for anyone that's on the world. And that's everything good. I pray for this country, the state, the parents, the community. For the other, and that's fortune and fall. Let's look at what's called cover. Terrible times right now. We do it all, we don't do it with control. And you bless the only before it, and you bless our religious leaders and political leaders. And we guide us to you. And please on one accord, let us be unified. Please get that spread in you, defend it for us. We want to speak it.
Mr. Dexter Armstead.
Present.
Mrs. Kristen Chastain.
Here.
Mr. Michael Cheatham.
Here.
Mr. Kyle Flanagan.
Here.
Mr. Jason McCray.
Present.
Mr. Keith Mills is absent. Mr. Richard Oliver.
Here.
Dr. Chrissy O'Quinn.
Here.
President Louis Kent.
They worked through the agenda, but one thing is understood. On the new business.
What about?
Give it to you.
Okay. Motion.
Any discussion? Question from the audience? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Old business. Adopt the minutes for the January 6, 2025 resolution. Anybody ready?
I make that motion.
Moved by Mr. Benson, second by Kirk Cheatham. Any discussion? But from the audience, not all in favor? Any opposed? We want to table number 2 and number 3 until the next meeting, please.
Second.
Because it could relate to, we place that on next week's agenda. Any discussion? Question from the audience, all in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Next on the agenda, discuss take action on quote from M-Track LLC for Aaron Road asphalt repair, $22,968. Possible executive session if necessary.
I just talked with Mr. Aquila, and what his suggestion was, we would like to, we're gonna take more pictures, we've already taken pictures. We want to move the picture road, because a lot of those be too close here. We know it's bad, engineer knows it's bad, contractor knows it's bad. And we're gonna, there's a, tell Mr. Aquila, he's been to court, he didn't show up, some of y'all issued a bench warrant.
Yeah, the heavy charge was criminal damage to property. He didn't show up on his court date. They issued a bench warrant for him. He's got an outstanding bench warrant right now. I've been in communication with his attorney. He's gonna turn himself in. I think they had some property damage to the landowner out there too.
Yes.
I believe the landowner has been compensated, but the jury has not been compensated yet. So we intend to file a claim with their insurance company for reimbursement. I suggested that y'all take a lot of pictures. go ahead and repair the road. If you could get another quote, it's gonna be hard to get a quote from another company, I'm sure, because it's not that much, that big of an amount. But if you could get another quote, it would be advisable as well.
But that's gonna be almost impossible, because I'm not come up here for that.
Yeah, but it's not
Yeah,
amount.
yeah, and all the reason, when I talked to Mr. Quill, he said, you know, that if you give one, it's great, if not, he's comfortable, and correct me if I'm wrong, that the fact that they're still close to here is the reason why you get the price you get. You know, 'cause they're not gonna come up here for $22,000.
Thank you, Mr.
And this is the same company that did the road rehab.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Cole. Motion,
Motion.
Mr. Cole, second. Coach Chief, any discussion? Question from the audience? Not in favor?
Aye.
And opposed? Motion carries. C, new business. Discuss take action on task order number 1, for LCBD BG, DC Sanitary, not to exceed $183,302.51. That's the other.
Yeah. This is, I've looked at it, I've talked to Mr. Kent, I know Evo's going y'all to sign this, I would not sign it like that. Evo's is gonna be compensated for the soft costs, just like PEC and HGA are. We filled out, all the paperwork needs to be there, HGA has it all. Karen McCullough, who's OCD, yeah, that she knows, she's said that they're gonna get paid their soft costs, so. And if this project doesn't come to duration, y'all sign a document that you don't really need to sign. And if the dredging doesn't work, and it comes to where it's not cost beneficial, if you go to the buyouts or go to the elevations, and it's a voluntary program for the homeowners, they don't have to do it, I'm not gonna force anybody to do it. From what I was told by OCD is you're gonna have to change your, everybody. The engineer's gonna have to change, your environmental gonna have to change, and your, administrator is gonna have to change. You'll have to re-advertise it just like you did the first time. Because that is such a huge scope of change of work, that just won't work.
I extended a meeting last week with the River Basin Commission Chairman, Mr. Sawyer, because of the bad weather, he couldn't come. So I need to just sit down and discuss things with him, see what's on this month.
And Paul told me what he would like to do, and what the commission wants to do, is look at another project that would benefit this parish, and maybe utilize some different funding or something. That's what he wanted to come explain to you all. I told him that he needed to come talk to you all about that. I can get him, hopefully, I'll call him tomorrow and see if I get him to come at the next meeting and see if he can schedule it or not at the second meeting. I got an email this morning, I think it was, from OCD, and they do not have the data from Acadia yet about the HMH for dredging out the COVID. They've not finished a lot of work yet. It's not supposed to be finished until the end of January. From the email this morning, I think it's pushed back a bit later.
Yeah, particularly on this project, once the dredging is done, let them maintain it.
Yes.
You like, things built every 2 years, and probably 2 or 3 years, and dredging. I think Curtis came up with a particular responsibility at the present.
It will go to you all to maintain it. We won't help.
So they can table this until we leave the list aside. It's just in, second,
Second.
from Mr. Armstrong. Any other discussion? Mr. Howard, will you speak, Mr. Howard?
Yes, I'd just like to make a comment on the task order number 1 and just explain a little bit what this is all about. And the parish and OCD already have an agreement, service agreement with ELOS. And the service agreement clearly states that you must have a task order, and I'm not talking about salt money right now, but a task order in order to do the work. Okay, if it was to be, the money is out there. If it was to be funding and the parish agree. You know, bring the money here and you start your work. And we don't want to, you know, get further behind with projects when we go into government and trying to get money and trying to get projects on the ground. So the proposal that we have at hand for the parish to sign is a proposal descriptive, saying what we're going to do. But the agreement, the service agreement does not say that. It just point out the dollar amount. So signing the service agreement, the proposal, is not going to bind you to anything other than what's in the service agreement.
Proposal.
Well, yeah, see, the proposal and the service agreement, you know, they mimic each other, but the proposal has to identify what task you're going to do, and you only have one task in. And I think, and I did say that, the service agreement and the proposal should be in your package.
But there again, guys, y'all be here for 2 weeks. When you meet with Mr. Sawyer, you can put it on the agenda to either do this or not. It's not like you don't meet once every 6 months, so the holdup is gonna be minimal. That's why I just, until everything is set about what y'all are gonna do, what you financially can do, whether you can financially maintain this project once it's finished, which that's a stretch in my mind, I may be wrong, but I just don't think we can get anything until you find out exactly what you committed to. There again, they're gonna get the soft cost. That's already been established. So ELOS, PEC, and HGA not gonna be out of any money. They're gonna get their soft cost, regardless of whether you sign the document or not.
But we already have a service agreement in place. And, you know, government always have some kind of time limit on all projects that they submit.
We have a quick turnaround, we got a meeting next Monday also.
That's what I'm saying.
So
So,
quick turnaround.
yeah, but even if you didn't, y'all be there for 2 weeks. Money's not gonna be here in advance in 2 weeks. I mean, they canceled the meeting, Thursday, right? Thursday, Wednesday, because they don't have the stuff from our case. So that's telling me that this is the end of January, they're supposed to have it in. They don't have it yet. So if it drags on, our next meeting at the end of February, with OCD. So they're not gonna do anything between then, now, and the end of February. I think the meeting is February 27th or 28th. It's one of those 2 days. It's at the end of the month. So you will have 2 more meetings before then. And hopefully our case will have their H&H done by then, so that, and then do cost benefit analysis and see if this project is sustainable and whether, again, it will give you all time to figure out, can you afford to maintain this project once it's finished? Because you're gonna sign a document saying you're gonna maintain it.
But we don't have to. We can turn this down.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir. So there again, even if everything comes back, that, hey, this is a great project, do it. Y'all are signing the document that states y'all will maintain it. Y'all, not anybody else. So, do you look at the third option about elevating homes over there, or buying them out, if they want to? Nobody's asked these people. And I don't think you can make a unilateral decision for somebody's house to flood it, as to whether you want to do this or not. And there again, I mean, all the experts said in a meeting 2 months ago that code meets sandy bottom, and it's not gonna last, and whether that's right or not. I'm not an expert. I'm listening to the people that are on the conference call, saying they believe 2 years max, and they may be wrong. If Arcadis comes back and says it's okay, then PEC's gotta start some work. They gotta go in and take some samples off the bottom to find out whether it's hard, sand, or just what it is. So, that's up to you all, but I wouldn't say anything about that, because you don't know what you're gonna do. And there again, even if it comes back good, y'all have to make a decision then about whether you all can afford to maintain it. Because y'all gonna sign a document saying you can't.
So I guess with that retrospect, we have to find out what that cost would be. I mean, first to maintain it over the years, definitely, I mean, I know that can be a long cost.
Yeah. $26 million right now. So, I mean, I don't know. I would let our case do their stuff, finish it, because it's not costing y'all any money. But I would seriously, after that, I'm gonna make a decision about what it's gonna cost, potentially cost. And we're looking at third option. Go there and just buy a home tower elevator, if those people want to. And I don't know how long that is. I know a lot of stuff with buying or elevation is repetitive loss. But these people over there have repetitive loss. Now, this money may be one-time loss, since it's LWI money. It's put in here to help alleviate these problems. So that may just be a one-time deal where you lost in 2016 and you're good to go. But those questions need to be answered too.
So what's the pleasure of the jury?
Well, you already said you want to take it until.
Okay, we'll do this, sorry.
And Mr. Lewis, are you going to get the gentleman, Mr. Sawyer, back to speak to all of
Yeah,
this?
totally, yeah.
All of us, okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
No action taken. This is the chief listen to review property.
You have a motion. Trustee did my second.
Good. All in favor?
Aye.
And opposed? Motion carried. Okay, discuss renewal of property, equipment, automobile, general liability, public official liability, excess liability, services within and taking action.
Will Andrews, good evening. All right, you should have a packet in there, like this. It's quite a few pages long, but we're gonna focus on the very first page, the summary, and I'll get the highlights, and then we'll go from there. So this is your big renewal, lots of lines of coverage here. And as most of you know, we lost the carrier that has insured you for quite a number of years. They pulled out of the state, not doing business anymore, so being non-renewed as of February 1st. Of course, we knew that. We knew that, in fact, last year at this time. So, those of you that were involved in budget meetings knew that we're really concerned about this, because the state of the market out there in insurance is not good. But actually, it's really not bad. This is probably the best news I've had for y'all in a long time, really, when it comes down to it. So, if we'll look at the total cost first, and then we'll go back and look at some just some highlights and some differences. So total cost, you'll see there, $320,800. Last year, it was $316,848. So it's about 1.2% more than what it was. I was hearing 25% plus is what I was really fearful of. So how does that break down? How do we get there? Well, if you look up here at the property cost, and by the way, I met with Mr. David and Nisha earlier, kind of went over all of this, and I looked at the different options, and so I'm going to tell you what the consensus on the idea was, and decide where you want to go. But the property cost is, you see there is the first line item, $60,238 and some change. The property is where the biggest difference is, biggest change, okay? With this property, last year you had a $2,500 deductible for everything except wind. For wind, you had a 2% deductible, okay? This year, the best that I could find was $25,000 deductible. With a 3% wind, with $100,000 minimum. Okay? That's a big difference from before. So, but we're able to buy down some options here, okay? So you see this property cost $60,238. That's with a $25,000 deductible. You can buy down to a $15,000 I say that is because that's actually, the last claim like this that he had. It was actually in this building, and it's been probably 6 years ago. And so, again, you'll have these type of claim frequencies often. Don't know when they're gonna happen, but, well, $5,000, I don't think is a good idea to reduce your deductible by $10. Okay? Now, if you look on that summary sheet, and you look down, you'll see wind buy down costs. This one for $37,000, I think you should take. I think it's a good idea to take it. Here's the reason why. Because under this new proposal, you will have a $100,000 minimum deductible for wind damage. Everybody knows the wind blows around here. This could be a hurricane, this could be straight line winds that come through.
Even tornado.
From a thunderstorm. So what you would be doing is you would be buying down your deductible from a 3% $100,000 down to a straight $10,000 deductible. And that's on all of these buildings that are listed here, not just this building, but all these buildings, courthouse, the clerk of court building, the DA's office, so on and so forth. What's that?
Jail.
No, the jail is a separate policy. That's a separate policy. That'll come in June. That's the only one that's separate. And we actually have a wind buy down on that policy for the very same reason. So this will be buying down the wind to $10,000. You don't have to take it, but, you know, in our discussion with David, we should, I think this is one that you probably want to take. And those are the two decisions you've got to make. You see there, the GL and the public officials cost, $100,331. That's down from $111,000 last year. So we were able to get that, find that better. Auto, $65,561. That's down from $88,000 from last year. That's better. And the excess is $33,730, down from $37,937. So we were able to save on some lines, but the property is the one that's really the one that's more. But overall, again, if you look at the overall picture, you know, it's $3,900 more.
We never take care of that.
Yes, that's right. The terrorism is on there, you know, $5,200, but you never take that. You reject that, so really that's what you gotta decide on. Do you want the $15,000 deductible or $25,000, which I don't think you should do, and do you want the wind buy down deductible?
We'll get February first.
February 1st, I gotta make a decision.
Look, we'll put a lot of work into this, I mean, because again, there's a shrinking company that want to deal with government entities. To only go up 1.2%, and really truly, if you would not do the buy down, it actually went down. But there again, we will not, you mentioned Caitlin talked today, that the wind buy down is, to me, a no-brainer. You go ahead and take that, and the rest of it, you know, you reject the terrorism, and you go with it.
I'll make a recommendation that we accept the proposal.
I'll second that.
Reject terrorism.
Reject it.
What's that, that's before $700,000 in discussion.
Can I make one more comment? I just want to make sure we all understand. In the past, these lines of coverage have all been with one company. The way I had to do this, there's going to be like 3, maybe 4 different companies that we're going to have different policies with. It doesn't really matter, I'm just telling you, like we're now piecemealing together. It's not uncommon, it's just uncommon for you guys. We've had the luxury of having all in one policy, but now we're trying to take the best from all over the place and put it together. see another item on, later down here, possibly purchasing some vehicles. You know, that could affect this, if we're putting on 10 vehicles and taking off 10 older ones, but, however, if you're swapping out, just so you know, when y'all get to that discussion, you've already got liability on 10 vehicles, so really the only thing you might be paying extra for is the physical damage. So you're probably not talking about 10,000 at the max. But
You're
probably-
going from older vehicles to 2025 vehicles, so that should be.
Correct, probably 5 to 10,000, just looking at the values that's listed on here. So that's not gonna be a huge, a huge swing. If you were adding these 10 to the fleet, in other words, 10 additional, that would be, but otherwise, just if you're swapping out, you're not talking about a big deal.
Any questions? None, all in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Mr. Engineer. Next on the agenda is discuss take action on resolution request for WWD number 7. To use the gap in CWF grant in conjunction with USDA funded project. State your name, please.
Good evening, Tony Ruchin, I'm at Waterworks 7, and Mr. Sam Brown's with me, also Waterworks 7. This request is to do with our grant loan that we're getting from the USDA for 2 projects on Waterworks 7, totaling about $2.1 million, 1.3 plus on the loan, and $800,000 on the grant from USDA. This project started, original review was, or look at was back in 2018. And of course, we had COVID, a lot of other things with USDA in the meantime. But we've gotten all the way down and ready to list bonds, and then we put our budget together, and to make the numbers work with the current prices and what our quotes were, we had to use some of our existing but not yet spent grant money from CWIF and GAP. And since those funds flow through the police jury, USDA, they didn't have a problem with our budget using those funds, but they flow through the police jury, so they want the police jury to have a resolution that says it's okay for us to use those funds. A lot of those individual grants were for upgrading the water line here, fixing this there, and some of those same things are in a much larger grant loan request. So we kind of held on to those because like CWIP and GAP are very small grants, so we can only do small portions. We've held on to them hoping that this grant, the larger grant loan would come through and we would work with the funds as we needed them. Well, that's come to pass, and now we need those funds to actually fund the project with our current quotes, little work to be done. And I don't believe USDA has a problem with it, other than the fact that those grants flow through the police jury, and they want a resolution to make sure that, I would have thought a letter would have been okay, because you guys approved a resolution before we can even apply for those grants, that you're gonna support it. But they wanna dot the i's and cross the t's, and they want a resolution that says it's okay for us to use those funds for our grant loan.
Basically, what is a homeowner for this deal, now the grant money flows through this deal. We're not responsible for the grant, you are.
That's right.
So are we gonna run into the situation we did with the fire department, that when we put the sign out, how's that gonna work?
That's totally different, they want a corporation, it's not a corporation,
So it won't be where
it's not a corporation,
we don't have.
it's totally different.
No, and really, I would have thought the resolution that you guys all passed before we can ever get the grants to start with would suffice as a support mechanism, but evidently they're waiting on another resolution to say it, and it's USDA, so you don't need to argue.
So what's the pleasure to do?
I have something.
Yes, ma'am.
So this is needed for USDA. What does the state say about this?
That's the state's fine, I mean, we're gonna get the grant money, I mean, most of them have already been awarded. One of them's about to be awarded, so, it's been approved, it's just not awarded yet.
Let me make a statement. The government been out there for years, last year we just couldn't apply for the government, which we should have applied for. It's funny that we hadn't applied for, because you can buy equipment with the money and everything. And the girls are lacking applying for the government money. That's a, any good here, because we all are responsible.
I know that it was, approved by you all for a certain project already, so there was some different, conversations with the state that wanted it out of waterworks, and so I know Caitlin had been speaking with them. We just got the information on this. I was wondering, is there a yesterday deadline? Because this is something that came up in the audit, something Scott wanted to, talk with more about flow through money and when the police jury begins to be responsible for the money. So if it's not like a yesterday deadline, I would like to speak with Scott to make sure the police jury is dotting their i's and crossing their t's.
Well,
That's just.
as I said before, this has been out there since 2018, and like all government money, if anything can change, and they can claw that money back if we don't get it approved. So it's 2.1 million, and it's available to us now. It may not be available to us in a month. May not be available to us tomorrow. I don't know. We're just trying to get it approved before it goes away.
Can you talk to Scott and maybe get an answer in the next couple of days?
Yeah, he's gonna need to speak, he's gonna need more information.
Our only concern is the fact that we have no control. And there's some guidelines when you use the gap money about how it's reported and stuff. I think that's a hangover with Scott and them, that the flow through is fine, but it needs to be the documentation. Like when you write a check out of this for, I don't know, what is it, 40,000?
Well, it's different amounts.
Yeah, okay, whatever amount it is, that check needs to come to us, where we can see it and keep it in our folder.
Now, with my understanding, it did come to you before it came to us. Is that not right?
Well, yeah, the money does,
Right.
but then when we give it to you and you spend it, we need the invoice exactly how you spend it.
Right. Well, my understanding is it's always worked this way before, and it's one of the good reasons to have the police jury as big brother, because that, you have to spend the money, get an invoice before you can get the money from the state to start with.
I'm not trying to build nothing to anybody, but the way they used to do things is not necessarily the right way.
Right.
So all we're trying to do moving forward is to do exactly what our financial consultants are telling us we must do.
Right.
And they're telling us that, unless I misunderstood them, that when we give anybody any money and they go out and spend it, we have to have the invoice to back that money up in our folder.
That's right. And my understanding was that you guys did already have, for the gap and Seawind, you already had that, because we can't get money from the state. You can't get money from the state to reimburse.
Yes. But what I'm saying is, once we give it to you,
Right.
and you go out and spend it, I have to have an invoice from whatever vendor you bought from. If you go out, if it's $40,000, you go out and buy $40,000 worth of pipe from ABC.
Right.
We have to have an invoice from ABC that states that you paid $40,000, check number that you paid on it.
Right.
So we can stick in our record, so when we get off, y'all not get off.
Right.
We will, because it's, there again, the government sees it's our money.
Yeah.
So
As I
that's all
understand it,
concerned.
and you can correct me if I'm wrong, Alicia, that's been we kind of cut Waterworks 7 out of that paperwork trail, is so it stays between you guys and the state, and then you just send us the money after we've provided the invoice. Isn't that the trail we're on now?
This is the first thing that's come up, since that, and just with the, I see it says in conjunction with the USDA fund, and it's probably fine, but I just don't know that it's fine. And to do a resolution, Sam, I guess we'll have to do a resolution, we would need to, because there's no presented resolution. So if you approve that, there's a resolution that you really don't have wording for. That's why I wish we had a timeline. Like, if it's something that we meet Monday, would Monday be too late?
No, the only thing right now I can tell you that the bonding attorneys and all those folks are waiting on this last approval with USDA so we can sell bonds.
I'd like to make a motion that we table this until next week, and that Misha, I share the same concerns that you share with us, that you get some answers possibly from Scott, and then we can be more informed.
And not trying to be difficult, but that was one of the things that he mentioned with the flow through money and us understanding. I mean, we get the information, not that they don't provide it, but just being able to.
And Tony, it's not that we don't wanna do it,
Yeah.
it's that
We
we wanna
can't
do
do
it
it.
right.
Oh, I know, I'm good with it. The only other thing, I understand we're gonna put this off till Monday, which is the next week's meeting. Also, the current LGAP money, I think the deadline is gonna be in March to have something in for that LGAP money. So, just put that on your calendars. I mean, our engineer is gonna be watching, and if you guys don't have something in already, we'll be coming to you with a proposal.
But even if we try to have something in place.
We don't wanna lose, the parish doesn't need to lose the
Yeah,
LGAP.
like one penny.
Right. That's right. So if they don't see something from the police crew, then we'll probably be bringing a proposal to you.
More explanatory.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll try to get started here for our next meeting, get some clarity on it. That's the lady. Because it holds us up on some things coming out here.
Okay.
No discussion? Question from the audience? All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Next on this bill, discuss take action on various requests to live in council at 697 Highway 61, Jackson. Bed, issue.
We got to table last time.
Yeah, and she called and said she
Should we
wanted,
give it?
so.
Is it again, question, motion?
Motion table.
Second.
Any discussion? Question from the audience? All in favor? Any opposed?
Yes, so that's in my district.
Keep on the bill.
All y'all never heard from him, I talked to Jeff again today, so, you know, I'm aware of it, I thought they should look.
Okay, discuss take action on various requests to live in a mobile home at 7995 Complete Road. That's troubling to me, because first of all, they have a mobile home and burned. A home burned, but she living with her son right now. Now she wanted to put a mobile home back on her property as a home. Not just to live, but it was a home. The California burned it 3 years ago. Why was it variant to put a mobile home on her own property?
I think it was because the lights had been out for like 3 years. It had been 3 years since the house had burned down. In order for them to get a permit or whatever, they were going to have to.
Is that a variant?
Request a variance from the police bureau.
Jeff Williams, building official. We have an ordinance in our parish that after 6 months, the grandfathering clause goes out the window. So in this particular case, mobile home burned. There's currently 2 mobile homes on a piece of property. You can only have one conventional and one non-conventional on the same piece of property, so that is why the variance is being asked for.
The other one probably going away.
And again, when type of things like this happen, Mr. Williams, and people are aware of well, what's the word I'm looking for, the way our ordinance changes, you know, so people won't be like, okay, well, I hit my home, I just put it back. So is there some kind of way in the future we can let folks know that, hey, you know, sometimes when you're a mobile home, you've been living in it, our ordinance has changed, and you have X amount of months to get it right? So I'm pretty sure that Madam probably didn't know that she had 6 months to.
What, 2 years, Mr. McRae? 3 years, yes, I mean.
Yeah, I get you.
But we're here tonight to ask for a variance for her, so this is the right.
Absolutely, but
Yeah.
I'm explaining to y'all why this is on there.
Gotcha,
Okay,
gotcha.
it's obviously for y'all to vote for it, but this is obviously why. Obviously, Municode is available online for all the residents to see, as far as there's a spot on the left, there's a tab that says everything is newly adopted, that they can go, online and see.
in retrospect, I know everybody,
She-
I'm
she-
sure
she
she's
did
out
for
of mind,
one.
that's Madam's out of mind, that's
No,
why.
she did,
Yeah, we probably have to send a letter or something, and just, you know, just being a news guy, you know, understanding being online, but everybody's not computer savvy.
With all that being said, I'd like to make a motion to grant Ms. Susie Wright a variance.
Second.
Any discussion? Question from the audience? Hearing all in favor?
Aye.
And opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
In place, move on with the property.
You could.
You can-
I'm good.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank God for that.
All right.
I thank God, I thank you all.
Yes, ma'am.
This one has been approved by the county, parents livestock. Approved by
So moved.
Approved by Dr. Queen. Second. Second, by Mr. Queen. Any discussion? First from the audience, you all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That's the advertisement. Okay. Discuss, take action on purchase of
Hey, Mr. President, you know, we pulled number seven.
Yeah, we pulled it.
Can I make a comment on that?
Please do.
That was, I've been talking about this for quite a while, and I was thinking Caitlin, she done a lot of work on it, and it just kind of, it didn't develop, but what this was about was the convention is in Baton Rouge, short distance from here. And the intent was to have a midday luncheon, invite all the people from the parish, the sheriff, you know, the elected people, and whoever else to come down to the police bureau convention, and with whoever's coming will be there, meet, and, me and Miss Oakland went last, whatever one it was, and the speaker of the house was here, and one of the, I'm sure she thought the comment was that if you don't get the Baton Rouge, if you don't ask, you ain't getting it. So, my thought process is that, you know, it's being seen a little bit more. And hopefully, that we, you know, like Tony's talking about, don't lose the LGAP money, you know, we went many years that we didn't get the LGAP money, because somebody said, we didn't need to prove that. For 50,000 here, 50,000, it adds up like most communities saved it, we didn't get it. So that's all, that was the intent of the luncheon, was to invite people and come down and meet people, and, that was the intent. Thank you, Mr.
Okay, discuss, take action on purchase of two 2024 F-250 crew 4x4 solid wheelbase, 2025 F1 regular River Care 42 soft wheelbase from courtesy automotive on state contract for $415,387.50. When you said that, put it up there in the song, first of all, we have to gather, argument, you're gonna have to speak.
I just think that's a lot of money to pay for brand new vehicles that are not gonna be taken care of. You're gonna,
They're gonna take care of it. I won't be here to see it, but
they're gonna
hopefully,
be
Mr.
operating
Hill.
in there.
Let Mr. Frosty defend.
Hopefully, Mr. Hill. And it is, look, y'all not bought vehicles in. I think do
No,
it.
but you can also get some that's got $2,000
But
on
the
it.
only bad thing about that is, you're trying to get rid of your repair fee, maintenance costs. If y'all look at your budget, the maintenance costs and diesel expenses, pretty high. You know, and I got, we pulled it today, and I got to talk to Frosty tomorrow, find out what all the codes mean. I'll be able to give y'all a better picture of exactly what you spend on maintenance of vehicles, but from the standpoint of not working, always having to work on it, they get in them, they may start, may not start. Fuel mileage has got to be killing. I mean, newer vehicles get better gas mileage. And there again, you have to look out for things. I mean, not look out, ARPA money. You have $340,000 left in road and bridge of ARPA money. At least this way you can see something positive that you bought with your ARPA money that was given to you. And if you keep them 10 years like everything else y'all do, at least this is a 10-year expense. So if you break it down like that, it's not really that bad. And it
So
goes
this
back
is
to
where the
the
funding will
problem.
come from, if you saying the
Majority
funding
will
will
come
come
from
from?
ARPA.
Yeah. You had $300,000 budget for Ruth Road Bridge and Frosty Fixed it was 60, so that left you 240. And you had $100,000 for Spit Garrett that came out to be $1 million because you couldn't repair it. So you had $340,000 left of ARPA money. There again, instead of just propping up the
When
departments.
does that have to be spent by?
In a year,
Every year.
in this year.
And then we, the road.
The reason that I'm concerned is because we looking at that number and it looks like a large number, and we already in a situation where we got to cut, big cuts. So that's what,
Yeah.
those are the red flags.
That's coming down
It's
from
a
electric
number,
cuts.
and it's what it was, and there again, if you wanna have an updated fleet, and I also believe that if you're gonna be kinda like fixing this road out here in the parking lot, why did it take so long to do that? I mean, to me, it's an image problem, is that you got guys running around, our trucks are rusted, holes in them, beat up, like I said, it may start, may not start, they get to a job and may not start back, and it's counterproductive in the time you lose working on stuff and trying somewhere to get to a job site. And there again, it's just something that Cross and I've talked about since I've been here. Updating the fleet is a way to use ARPA money that at least you can see it tangible, instead of just propping up a department and money's gone and you never see anything. At least this way you see a tangible product that will last y'all 10 or 15 years. And
Like the ARPA money, like why can't that money be used to fix other roads?
you can't.
Or bridges.
Well, bridges will not.
20 bridges that need work.
That's what you don't.
Oh,
We got about-
Can't work goodbye.
Well, there again, it's brought to y'all's attention, and y'all do what y'all want to do with it. But there again, when you can't get to a job site, or you continue to pay,
So good money up to date.
yeah, just try to spend 4 or 5 times. Frosty brought one to me a while back, it was $5,700. Vehicle ain't worth
A $600
$5,700.
truck will put $5,000.
Right.
And that's the only thing.
But it seems like there's also generally used vehicles you could get that's
But there again,
8 to 10 years old if you're not spending that kind of.
But you go back to the same problem. You got an old fleet that you've done nothing to, you've wasted that money. There again, that's just my opinion.
Yeah.
But also you gotta look at the fact that with this, you fix the problem. The health unit is gonna road and bridge quite a bit of money. There again, Scott and them still working on that. And the general fund's gonna help you with a bunch of money back. Still working on that. So the road and bridge has money right now. We, later on the next item is we wanna buy a $30,000 power drive. Well, it's not, it's about 16,000, across it. So that we can start fixing them repairs. I've been to see Kenny Howard twice. I've talked to their DPW director. Frosty went and talked to the DPW director. In the last 2 years, they have repaired 30 bridges. We have the capability, we go buy this equipment, we've set up a crew that will be dedicated to fixing bridges. We're fixing to start on L. Williams as soon as the weather gets good. So we'll have L. Williams open back up. Frosty wanted it done because it ties 2 state roads in. So we're looking at ways to do this in a budgetary way that you can afford it. If you put on 3 online, Kenny said what, about $70,000 a piece so far to get them back up to standard. So if y'all did 3 or 4 a year, you can, in a 4 or 5 year period, you can fix them all. You're not gonna be able to do any more than that if you do them in-house, because we don't know exactly how long it's gonna take, or once you get there, how many miles you have to drive and stuff like that. But at least there's a plan moving forward, is how y'all gonna replace these bridges. And to my knowledge, y'all never really had a
But
plan.
some of those bridges you can't replace.
Well, some of them you can't, but what's happening in this, Mr. McCray, is you're getting bridges that are open, that we're getting critical deficiency letters, that we're not repairing, and they're eventually closed.
But didn't they come up and say that we couldn't, that they were gonna do away with all wooden bridges?
Yeah, sorry, Gary Gill, Director of Public Works. They was trying to get rid of all the 4 to 6 span bridges, the lengthy bridges. because they was cost efficient, they were too much, they was trying to go back to concrete, but for this parish, concrete is, for every long bridge we have, concrete is just too much for this parish. We tried to get it on the bridge replacement program, but it did not, it wasn't eligible. So, we are.
So when you say it wasn't eligible, what was?
They cost too much. They cost too much to make the program.
Spec Garrett is a million. That's an estimate. And that could be more. I mean, this, in the way that other parishes do this, they just call them temporary bridges. And it doesn't affect your off-road bridge, staying on off-road bridge project. You just have a temporary bridge.
Well, my suggestion to you is you get some numbers together and you go sit down with the finance committee and y'all hash it out to see what's more economical for us to do, where we can get more bang for our buck here, and let's make a decision, bring it back to the board.
And I have one question too, okay, it's a long time, I'll listen to Craig real quickly. Is this not including the truck you got already been allowed for?
No.
Okay.
That truck should be done more.
Okay, so anyways, here's what I want to say, I'm just, you know how I do this, also, and so this type of money here, and I'm gonna just be honest, so what we have to do, I know we have potholes, and when we fix some stuff, we pop them out of there. So where we can take some of this money, what kind of hot mix machine we have, and we can justify fixing our potholes we had last
We got a
time.
brand new.
We got a brand new pipeline, but at the same time,
How they get them?
at the same time, since they closing the bridges on Highway 63, we getting a lot more traffic on the parish road than we normally do.
Okay.
The 18-wheelers, you know, because fast as you fix a pothole, you know, with the roads being as old as they are, you know, because they haven't been overlaid in quite some time, you know, by the time you patch this spot, then you gotta keep going back and patch this spot. I mean, the potholes work, but patching is only temporary.
Yeah, and then there's something else y'all need to take into consideration also. It's taking time to do this. We went through a period where we had rain coming. Then we went through a period where we had the cold weather. That pothole patching machine, it's gotta be a certain temperature before you can put that hot lease down before it's gonna work and be effective. That's the reason why it's taking more time now to get out to the road. And I understand that, and then we just had a little snowstorm come through. And when you have all these rains that come up, these roads are not but an inch and a half, most of them that overlay is not but an inch and a half. You only have that much asphalt on top of them, and so those potholes gonna pop up. That water's gotta go somewhere, and you don't have control of it. But I just wanna ask y'all to kind of be patient with them. They are doing what they can. I mean, we do have a new pothole patching truck. All the equipment is up right now, so I mean, we get some good days, good weather here, we be able to start getting a little bit more done. So,
You have many of roads, many stations, parish.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
yes, sir.
Well, I'd like to make the motion on this matter, we bring it back to finance committee.
Second.
Discussion. Question on, all in favor?
Aye.
You bring it back to the finance committee. You call it something,
Yes, sir, we're working on it for next week, hopefully. Don't go to work.
me, you want that? I wonder what you better.
This is what we just talked about, we need to, and before we buy this thing, the probably said it's about 16 to 20,000, we're gonna go rent one. And we're gonna wait till the end of February to rent it, and we're gonna see how long it takes us to get a bridge done. And again, I believe that with the right crew, KJ, Joe and Johnson are gonna run the crew, that we can replace these bridges. The ones in critical efficiency, the ones, L. Williams is an easy one, because this is a short bridge. That's why we probably took it to, and like I say, it connects two state roads. So hopefully, by that time, we will tell you all how long it's gonna take to take one that's closed. Now, the critical deficiency letters, maybe it won't take as long to do those, hopefully, right?
Yes, sir.
That, because you're not totally rebuilding it. We wanted L. Williams because it was short, and it's a total rebuild. So, but, I would like to just, again, I just want to put it in y'all's mind that y'all need to be thinking about this to find out if you want to buy one, because you can't rent it. It's $3,600 to rent for a month. You know, so, there again, we got to look and see.
Well, I think this is something that we're gonna be using.
Yes.
I make the motion to go ahead on support and get that power drive.
Okay.
I second.
Thank you.
The most trouble come and go in.
Yes, sir.
No freeze.
Thank you.
We got it.
Cause, like I said, this is what you do, you're gonna be fixing $3,000 a month, next time you still have, or whatever, even half a year,
Yes,
that's 18
I
miles.
think the excavators that we own, need one of those bigger. Probably can no longer reach up higher,
Right.
so you get the pile driver and then the excavator will be on the wish list.
Well, the excavator, hopefully, Mr. Hammond from West told us he bought it from federal surplus next year. So we're gonna look at federal surplus to see if we can acquire one.
Right.
Hey, if you don't ask, you don't know.
right.
So we're gonna look and see if we can find one on federal surplus that will save us quite a bit of money.
Got a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
And opposed? Motion carries.
But the excavator we have right now, that tow frosting will work on this, because we only drive in wood for right now.
Thank you.
Let's move on. Discuss take action on resolution to transfer funds from Homeland Security Bank account to general fund account, not to the Homeland Security.
If y'all remember when, Scott and Parker Winter came and met with you all, we just kind of like we did the building, fund, we just rolled it up into the general fund. The general fund is having to circumvent Homeland Security right now, so this is just an easier way to track it on what, Scott said. So all we're doing is closing down this account. They're gonna still have the same, but it's just gonna be a line item in the general fund.
So the money has already been moved, Mr. Davis?
No,
This will actually initiate that.
Yes, y'all have to approve the money.
That's what I was making sure.
Oh,
But we have not been paying anything out of Homeland Security for 2025, it's only a couple $1,000.
So the general fund does it anyway, so this just clears up an account that you don't need.
Motion to transfer of Homeland Security, funds into the general fund.
Any more discussion? Clear from the order.
Okay, before you go on, let me say something, let me tell you about, maybe I should watch my grandson. I just want to thank Frosty and his crew. If y'all notice, we have policies and procedures in place now that when a storm comes, that everything is set up. We send you all where the crews are gonna be, who's on call, and everything else. Like, thank Mr. Kent, we were in constant communication, Mr. Bueller, sent email, text, so everything worked fine. The procedures are in place moving forward to where it's smooth. There's just no problem.
We didn't have a problem, no. We all work together, all the entities, everybody on one accord. Everything has a fight.
Ross and I met this morning and went over everything and asked him if there was anything, but, the stuff that we put in place works. I just wanna thank Frosty and Aaron for the work.
You know, in the past, all these streets gonna be proactive instead of reactive. Now, for those years ago, we always react to everything. Number five, that would be more proactive in the city of
And everybody knows where we need to be. That makes it so much easier.
Yeah, I wanted to say thank you, Mr. Derrick, I appreciate that. I'd asked for that list for a long time since I got here. So knowing who you want to contact is, sets my mind at ease. Thank y'all.
Good job. Next on the agenda, approve 2025 liquor license of Back Road State Seafood.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Question from the audience, not in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Community staff, this committee, as you said, we all committee appointment. Please committee appointment, committee appointment. You want to copy? Then the one additional change, move Mr. Oliver from building department to the finance committee. And appointed Mr. Dixon to the chairman of the building department. And as you also see, I didn't put too many years on too many committees. With me being as official, I could change any committee and go to that. They all know it. Next, appointment of gas station number 2. We have one applicant.
Who do we have, Ms. Moore?
Mr. McGee. Any discussion? Question from the audience? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Thank you.
Motion carries. If you should step in,
Thank y'all. I know all of y'all, just met you December, and the only one I hadn't met was, Mike. Thank y'all. Appreciate it.
All right.
Personnel committee, that's with those who.
I don't have anything at this time. We will be having a meeting probably in February.
Next, appointed Mr. Smith, finance chair, vice chair.
Yes, sir, thank you for the reappointment. And we have one item listed here, and it's going to be, I'm going to make a motion to approve monthly invoices.
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? Question from the audience? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
And the only other thing I want to mention, it's not on here, but much like last time, there is a list in your packet from Mr. Scott, for Falk and Winkler, potential areas to cut, to try to save us some money. Just ask that everyone review and either give myself or Ms. Harris your recommendation or what you feel where we can cut best. And we're going to try to have a finance committee meeting next week, possibly Tuesday. That's it. Thank you.
You get a motion second. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries.
We need to jump back to personnel because Misha said this needed to be read during the meeting. Given my concern, I would like to inform you that I'm resigning my position as parish manager for the East Feliciana Parish Police Jury effective March 27th, 2025. Thank you for the opportunities of professional and personal development you have provided me during the last year. I have enjoyed my time here and appreciate the support provided to me during my tenure with the company. If I can be of any help during this transition, please let me know. Sincerely, David Eckline. You know, assuming I'm not the only one that got one, right?
No, it's in everybody.
We discussed everything, everybody left it more.
Yeah, he said he had to leave. He said he had to.
Oh, he had to go. It's fine. I wouldn't be surprised. We discussed it, we paid it, we were going to. So we went to an appointment with Jason Pratt.
I don't have anything.
Then the problem is, I'm because you chairman, you have anything.
No, that's just at this time, Mr. President.
Administrative matter. Okay. Everything. Judge report coming up. Homeland Security, Mr. Gerald Bush. First of all, we compliment on the job well done, Judge. He's in the church, he's doing a good job.
A couple things on here. October of 22, they asked us if we wanted to handle our own cybersecurity for the parish. The state was gonna give us about $8,000. That's nothing when you start getting involved with cybersecurity in case we get hacked here or something. So what every parish in Louisiana decided was to give their money back to the state, and the state military would handle all that for us at no charge. So if we do get hit, we make a phone call to them, they come in there and fix it. So, we don't have the money to come in and spend $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 trying to fix up and get all our records and everything back. But what they're asking, they wanna come in here and review all our security issues here with the computers, go through, check them, run tests on them to make sure everything works like it's supposed to. They got a set of guidelines they gotta try to meet. And I think it'll be a good thing, it's no cost to us on the jury. They would come in with, they set a date up with me, and we can come in anytime we want them to come in. I'll be with them that day, walk them through everything around here and be with them. And they come in, they review everything that we have.
And who's that?
That's the military, with the state of Louisiana. Yeah.
And then that he said that too, when we, had a meeting with Will today, that's something that we may be coming up soon, liability,
Cyber liability.
Yeah,
Is that for all
he
business?
just mentioned that today. I know David's working on something with MIS, with firewall and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
We don't have a firewall right now.
And it's something that
See,
the, auditors.
That's one of the biggest things they're gonna come in and tell us, hey, you need firewalls, you need this. Okay, is all your system backed up on 2 different servers? Because if it's a lot of them, like 180 Pro had one on the East Coast and one on the West Coast, so if one side got attacked, we had a backup system. So now, we just need to have them come in and review everything, that way we'll know. Because if they come in there and lock our system down, they're gonna say, hey, Parish, pay me $100,000 and we give you the code to reset. And if not, they just wipe it all out, and you have lost all your data in the system. Yeah, oh yeah, with a computer, they can shut down the entire electrical grid here in the United States. I mean, it's easy to do right now. So, if y'all wanna do that, I get in touch with them, cause they called me last Friday, and we talked for about an hour on the phone with her about what all they gonna do for us and stuff, that they wanna go and start. Governor Landry wants us to go and do it quick, rather than wait till some parish gets hit. I know we low priority, but we usually don't have the firewalls that your bigger towns and all have. And that's what they're really trying to push the smaller ones right now to get them on board. And there's no cost for us, all they gonna do is come here and do everything.
Let me be free.
Can we see what MIS is doing already? Like, that's not in the contract, make sure that's not in the contract that you all approved to pay. I mean, it's good.
Yeah, well, they checked it, whoever does all our cyber for us,
They come behind.
they come by there as a second party, that way they come in, hey, you're lacking here. Because these guys, they can come in here and do whatever they want.
They're free, right?
They're free, there's
Yeah.
no cost to it, and I would recommend it.
I ain't found a better price for free in my life.
And it lets us know what we're lacking. And you'd be surprised what we'll be lacking with the technology they have today to be able to attack.
That's what the state is.
Yeah, that's through the state military. Yeah, Louisiana Air National Guard and ones like that, just a combined task force. Okay.
Anything else to do?
Yeah, to get refunded from the snowstorm is a different program than what anything else FEMA does. They only allow 48 hours of continuous time for reimbursements. So we're trying to figure out what that will be for us. We'll have to come in here and set a start time and an end time on the 48 hours. So I'm meeting with the guy tomorrow to come in and tell me what day can we start on. Because we did good. By Sunday evening, every bridge, concrete bridge had been salted and sanded. Hey, we didn't have any problems during this storm. Hey, we only had one road, Line Road, that had a slippery spot on it. It wasn't by a bridge. The state was different. I mean, 952, 10, 964, we had plenty shut down. But people couldn't get to DCI. They had to come out, pick them up, and haul them in. They had to get into DCI because of the roads. And just the hill did good. I mean,
You done a great job.
okay. I spent the whole week with him. We stayed up late at night. We were on it. The dispatchers up there at 911, hey, we had double shifts working, and at times, hey, that phone never stopped. Then it'd go in a lull. Everybody listened, and this parish has stayed home.
I even approached the gate by, it's a crazy, you know, because people was off the road.
Yeah.
But why is it crazy? So they
We-
used to-
We tried to notify them, the state did, they did it on the LA Wallet, we did it on Nexel. We put out the 6 social media sites I use here in the parish for words. And they called me up Monday and said, y'all sanded the bridges already? I said, yeah. Wow, thank y'all. We didn't got to the snowstorm yet. So I was like, hey, that's good. But I wanna thank Frosty on that, the sheriff's office, the towns and villages, the law enforcement there. They were broke into sections just like Frosty does with DPW. You didn't have to travel all the way across the parish for help. They had them there. Within 10 miles, we had a deputies and all, everything set up in the parish.
It all came together.
Yep. Yep. And we 5 o'clock Tuesday, all the communication officers there, we run double shifts for 12 hours a shift. Instead of 2 people on call, we had 3 on call. And me, Frosty, Kevin Garrett, and Rachel manned the EOC. We did a partial man because we didn't think we needed to go to a full setup where everybody had to come into it. Because if we were looking at ice, we'd have bumped a whole lot more people up. But I think it all went real good on it. So I just want to thank Frosty and all the other ones right here for what they did because it worked. So we got a few things, hey, we learning every time we deal with something that we're gonna get on. But that's all I have. Thank y'all. Weather right now, about the February 6th through the 8th, we got another storm coming in. It won't be a Siberian freeze like we just had. This one is more gonna be severe weather, April, May storms last year. So we're watching it real close right now. But yeah, because we've had enough on weekends lately. So we'll get a little break this week, then we'll go right back into it next week. So we'll be doing everything, we're gonna treat everything like a hurricane, like we did this setup. That way we have everything rolling, going through it, the chainsaws, you got every chainsaw, chains, everything we need if we gotta start cutting trees.
Yeah, for the next one, we got one.
Yep, we're ready.
What you think, Mr. Joe? Plans on you yet?
Tomorrow night.
Public comment. No public comment, I can't vote to adjourn. All in favor?
That's all good.